MaJaMa Jams is brought to you by I Don't Like This.
MaJaMa. MaJaMa. MaJaMa.
Name? Mario. Last name?
Mario.
Okay, what's your name?
Luigi.
Luigi?
No, Luigi Mario.
Welcome back, everyone, to MaJaMa Jams, a show where we discuss other people's work to avoid doing our own. And today, guys, we have got a hot one from the peak time of me and Matthew, the early 90s. We decided to reach back into that decade and discuss something which has been oft mocked and debated on the internet, and I hadn't seen it in years, and I really wanted to, and wow. It is 1993's infamous Super Mario Brothers, starring Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo, and of course Dennis Hopper as a lizard. Bruz. Super Mario Bros. So, I think my main argument over the course of this next jam session will be that without the name and the attachment or lack thereof to the source material, it's a decently interesting enough, I might even say some original ideas, early 90s movie, but when connected with that name, it becomes an utter head-scratcher.
Yeah?
Utter absolute head-scratcher. I have no idea why any decision on this was made. I think there's like one thing that is direct translation from the game. But we're going to get into it.
We're going in.
So we've been kind of hashing it back and forth. We want to not do synopsis and just like we said, start to talk and try to walk through it. Or should we just do a laundry list of every incomprehensible decision that this thing made?
I think we should go back to the 5-line synopsis.
And then dive in?
Just like dive in. So
It's on you, kid.
How did you come to that conclusion?
I'm the loudmouth that does the intro. He busts his ass editing it 87 hours a day.
I put this paper up.
Okay, it's a fair
I threw the
argument,
paper up.
but at least while we're on camera, it's not going to be me because I'm hosting. And he does a lot. Objectively more than both of us. So therefore,
I have to go to the bathroom. All right.
no, it's not. It's first line. First.
Oh. First line. Mario and Luigi are plumbers and...
Not brothers.
Yes?
yeah, that's the first thing.
I guess. No.
They're acquainted.
Mario here brought me up. He's been my mother my whole life. Hey.
And
He's
they
freaking
have
adopted.
the plumbing business. Luigi's
an apprentice. They say that Luigi's an apprentice and Mario is the actual plumber.
Yeah.
Plumbers! No, he is. I'm just apprenticing.
Luigi sees a girl that he thinks is hot, whose name is Daisy, and she gets in trouble. He goes back to the site that she's working on, digging up dinosaur bones with the help of a local college. Some gangsters try to flood it out so they can get the land from them, and they end up getting transported through some sort of tunnel that's underneath. I don't know.
In a parallel dimension.
In a parallel dimension, they slip through some tunnel that was where they were excavating for dinosaur bones. They have to save her.
And yes, Mario's girlfriend, because they were kidnapping.
Skanks from
Brooklyn. From Brooklyn.
Uh,
Hoping to find
the
the princess. I guess.
That's what they're randomly grabbing girls for?
I suppose so.
Oh.
Did I lie?
So they go on an adventure battling Dennis Hopper with semi-white man braids.
Yes.
And eventually find out that she's been carrying a piece of a meteorite that when combined with the rest of the meteorite will merge our reality and their reality, the two dimensions together.
So they can.
And Scoopa wants to rule our world.
And they vanquish him. And
They
the
win.
end. Yeah.
The end.
So hear me out.
Don't fight it.
I've just seen it a bunch of times. As I mentioned to you guys, this is
What a bunch of times.
hilariously very similar to the Godzilla Kong the New Empire plot.
I mean, you could say that about 20 films.
Yeah, but just the specificity
maybe
of
21.
species is imprisoned in this underground, in the other world, longs to get to the surface. There's portals to go to it. Our heroes are flown into the portal to the other world and have to then stop a convergence, which is going to let the villain get out into the real world. Yes, granted, a lot of movies are that, but also very strong to what the...
All right.
So, Godzilla vs. Kong plagiarized Super Mario Brothers?
That's what I'm trying to say, man.
Wow.
Put it in a headline.
Sent it by you? Yes, it's wow.
So, I just thought it's a very similar plot.
Oh, come on!
So,
But, the thing that I noticed today, and probably I was reading it.
sorry, just quick, when was the last time you saw it? How fresh is it? Because it had been a long time for us. I realized once we put
How
it
do you
on
know?
it.
I might have watched it recently.
I saw it. I remember seeing it before the pandemic.
Oh, okay. So way sooner than us, I think.
Some 5 years ago, give or take.
Okay.
Before
Why?
5.
Just because you're Mateo.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Because one day I was saying, maybe I didn't remember it. I mean, I remember the bad parts.
Honestly, that's what I went into today. Like, well, maybe, I don't know.
I don't know.
I didn't remember a lot of the details.
Yes.
I remember when I saw it in the theater. I was here the summer where we saw Jurassic Park, The Last Action Hero, and this one. Almost back to back to back. Every week or something. And it went downhill. Jurassic Park, the Last Action Hero, and...
Must have been a non-union job.
Was Jurassic Park nominated for Best Picture?
No.
Says everything about the Academy.
But that year, Schindler's List was and won. Jurassic Park won Best
There
Special
weren't even
Effects.
dinosaurs in that one.
No, I know. It's very disappointing.
They honestly hate anything genuinely crowd pleasing.
Yes.
It's disgusting to them.
I'll meet you in the playground after school.
One thing that stuck with me is that King Koopa wants a piece of meteorite that Daisy has around her neck because apparently it can close the portal. No, I mean, sorry, close a circuit and open a portal between his dimension and ours. But the two goons who go to kidnap the princess pass freely, already can pass freely because they are in our world already.
Yeah, did they explain that?
Nope.
Because her mom is the one that
Yeah.
brings her to Earth, our Earth.
Yeah, but they have come before to kidnap all the women who are missing.
Yeah.
So
And plus we see Koopa in the underground tunnels at the beginning when he
Yes.
takes the mom back.
so
Where's the rock?
Koopa.
there is already this. It doesn't make sense. I wanted this to open this portal, which is already open.
Well, I guess the thing would... I mean, the thing is supposed to fuse the two worlds, right?
Yes, but
But
still.
there's still some kind of portal between
I
the two
mean,
of them.
it
So why
looks
not
like
just...
that the thing can temporarily open a portal, but still it can because they can
Yeah, so why not
travel.
just walk through and just
Yeah.
take over?
It's incredibly.
And what happened to the mom? Is she the queen? Is she dead?
Oh yeah, I don't know.
I'll tell you that as soon as we started, like you said, I was shocked because I had zero. Actually, I might even say my memory of it was in a negative percentage that we opened on a Kid Pix 3-bit graphics of the dinosaurs
Yes.
that begin speaking to each other.
You know, it just don't get no better than this.
Yeah.
And I just had zero recollection. And then we go into something else that I said right away. Wasn't there something else? I was like, what?
No, then there is the woman with the.
Oh, the dino egg, right.
The dino egg to the nunnery. No, not the nunnery. Yeah.
The
nunnery.
deli.
Yes. No, to the nuns.
I don't.
Why do we need a narrator for like 2 lines?
A long, long time ago, the Earth was ruled by dinosaurs. They were big, so not a lot of people went around hassling them.
I don't know.
I don't
Which
understand.
is Dan Castellaneta misspelled in the closing credits.
I also don't remember his voice. You feel like you would recognize that voice.
No, I
immediately.
recognize it.
That's Homer, right?
Yeah.
I don't. You could say like, okay, the Koopas, like, what are they? Like, well, they look like a dinosaur, but I disagree because I think Mario is one of those wonderful original creations that like you said about your toy collection, it's such a vibrant, fun, colorful world of original, fun, cartoony, cute characters. So, on one hand, like, okay, we got to drag this into the real world. They kind of look like dinos. Let's lean into that. But on the other hand, like,
look at
what?
Yoshi and Koopa and a bunch of the different.
I don't even know how to do this list of all the so many decisions here. And again, it's weird because if this is called Wacky Plumbers and it's just simply an original movie, I'd probably put it on and be like, I wouldn't be enthralled by it. I might even enjoy it, but I'd be like, damn, Mateo, look at this relic of early 90s. It's original. It's got wacky
not that
ideas.
The plumbing part gets into play. Granted, it's not particularly into play in the video game either. I mean, he goes just like down and up pipes.
To the pipe.
Today on our miraculous world.
Oh, here. This is as far as we can go. I'll have to walk the rest of the way.
But, I mean, you're a plumber, right?
1 and 116, open-ended.
1 and 116, open-ended.
Look at this. It's a plumber's nightmare. These pipes haven't been serviced for years.
You're a...
Go ahead and say it. Dinosaur.
The thing that to me it was, once again, excellent casting, but why making them from Brooklyn? Super Mario Brothers, they are Italian.
It's me, Mario.
Italians can't leave Brooklyn.
Yeah, I know.
It's sanctioned that way.
And the thing that
it's like the apes in Godzilla and Kong. See, it all connects together.
The thing that, and well, I'm sure that we'll go back, but before I forget, the thing that drove me insane was that there is one piece of music repeated over and over and over and over.
That needs to be highlighted.
Hey, wait for me! Don't take off.
Well, you said the tunnel.
I did not. I said Parkway.
But you meant the tunnel.
Except in 2 points where for some reason they insert a few bars from the traditional Italian tarantella Yamme Ya. And I notice it and I say, okay, you make them from Brooklyn, they're not even Italian, but then in the middle of a musical piece, you just like throw that to say, hey, remember he's Italian.
Okay, I want
and no Super Mario theme.
I want to start
at the beginning
with
though.
that.
At the beginning, yes.
But you don't even let it play out fully. You just
No,
kind of
yes.
clip it.
Okay,
and
so
the
no, I'm
movie
sorry.
starts.
That's what.
Why not remix
No,
that,
no.
put a beat behind it? I mean, this is the 80s and 90s time when you would be doing that, and then...
The new movie has it.
Yeah.
That's
throughout.
what it was. It was the 1-2 punch of I had zero recollection. We actually started with the iconic theme song, and then wondering, as long as it's in there, why the F did you not use it incessantly throughout? Everyone loves that theme. Followed by the kid picks dinos talking. Those were the two things like I had zero recollection of that starting. But let's start with that because I feel like it's so omnipresent throughout. So there's a very, I wish we could find a specific example, maybe Mateo the God will, but there's a very, almost, what is it, a flute? There's like a mischievous flute bass, early 90s, specifically early 90s comedy. We're thinking Mrs. Doubtfire, House Guest,
I was thinking Honey,
I Shrunk the Kids, great examples.
Clue, the ending where he's explaining everything out. What
Very
was done.
mischievous, meant to, hey, it's comic time.
Yes.
Dinner.
Do you eat?
Yeah?
Dinner?
Sure.
Would anyone care for fruit or dessert?
And this mischievous, fluty, early 90s comedy music is damn near
Doug
the only
Flutie?
choice. It's damn near the only choice. We kept noticing it until it was, and then you say even at the end. They don't even give you the triumphant lift. It's still the like all that picture is like, oh, I'm babysitting someone. Oh, the kid grabs something. Oh, here we go. He's running away.
Yes,
Mr. Mom type Tim Allen's in a fucking
the
shower
guy
cap
running
and
from one room to another.
And they use it all throughout, and it's the perfect way to highlight. Like, my God, the paper cascade. It's the perfect way to highlight that. All the choices are confounding, and again, even more so, they're kind of interesting just when you look at the source material. How do we do this? Can we do like a list of every insane decision they made?
I agree.
Okay, let's start with the closest.
In their defense, like you said, if you did just call this another title,
it's kind of interesting.
The de-evolution and the evolution is an interesting concept. Taking a spin on the Mushroom Kingdom and actually making your king de-evolve into mushrooms because mushrooms share so much of our DNA with us. So that's kind of an interesting idea to say, hey, it's kind of spreading throughout the entire kingdom. Or this, it looks like from the map he shows, it looks like it's a tiny little pocket of Manhattan, and then the rest is just the rest of the Earth.
Yes,
is just desert.
Yes,
endless desert.
So at least the idea of de-evolving or evolving his underlings to either help us with this mission or just become stupid minions, and then the whole mushroom aspect of it is an interesting twist on the video game idea. Just doesn't play as a...
No, and one thing that everybody, I remember back then, because at first, as I told you, the first time that I was seeing, I wasn't living yet in America when I saw it.
But you were familiar with the game, because the game's everywhere.
Yes, I was.
And then Mom, you always say Mom loves Dr. Mario, so you guys have the Mario obsession.
I had, yes. And so I went to see it, and again, I was saying, maybe my... not maybe.
Is my English bad, or is this an utter piece of crap? Help me, I'm new here in America.
I was saying, definitely my English understanding and communication skills at the time were much worse, but I was saying, okay, maybe I completely missed something and I don't understand, because I was very familiar. And the first thing that everybody was saying, which was also a criticism to a degree that I remember made towards the first Ninja Turtle. They were saying it's very dark, it's very glum, whereas you would imagine something coming from a cartoon or a video game, especially a video game with basic bright colors.
Well, see, here's the interesting, not deviation, but here's the interesting asterisk to that, if you will. The interesting asterisk about that is that, yes, it is a...
asterisk.
Asterisk. Thank you, Italian man that will forever know my language better than I do. Is that, yes, it's a completely congruent comparison when talking about the 1987 Turtles cartoon, but the 1990 Turtles movie syncs up perfectly with the original source material of the comic. And I only say that to say that there's different mediums, and the Turtles movie mirrors the original one. This, again, just no type of connect to your...
there was the underground levels.
What is this place?
There she is! Come on, let's go! Hurry up, run!
Where are you taking me?
Back to where you belong!
There was the underground level.
Let's start with that. The strongest connections are Yoshi is kind of a baby T-Rex, but it is still like a dinosaur, and it has the long tongue that we at least get to see long tongue and grab someone. By the way, amazing, genuinely amazing, kick-ass practical work on Yoshi.
Yeah.
Real awesome early 90s. Like
pudgier nose.
I mean, again, he doesn't look anything like him, but at least he's a cute little dino with a tongue that comes out and
also among the positive, the sets were impressive because it was a multi-layer set.
And the sets were cool.
They were practical.
Again, we have to compartmentalize the critique of a Super Mario Brothers movie and the critique of what original ideas bring to this. But okay, so we have Yoshi. Doesn't really look like Yoshi, but at least a cute dino that ends up helping out and has a long tongue that comes out. We do eventually get our close enough to the red and green suits. We have them traveling through a pipe on a mattress, but at least they're traveling
the pipe green?
through a pipe.
Yes.
Is that too much to ask?
Okay, we get an actual, literal, albeit miniaturized, we get literal translations of the Babam and the Bullet
Bill.
Bullet Bill.
Yes.
Albeit tiny ones, but we get literal translations, which I thought, again, for how sparse it is cool. And we get neon signs of Thwomp and Hammer Bros as little nods to it.
And then you have Big Bertha and Toad.
But again, I want to say more direct.
Oh, okay.
So I think as far as the closest thing to a direct translation, everything I just listed is it.
Bob Hoskins got a mustache.
No woman can resist the charm of a married.
And again, I should say, in the little book Mateo gave us behind the scenes, I said that they were really excited. Bob was their first absolute first choice.
Oh, thanks, man.
No.
Bob was the absolute first choice, and I do think Bob works. Like, if you show me, hey, this is the guy we cast, look at him in costume with the mustache, I get it.
Right, you're doing the Super Mario Brothers. You know, I said, what is the Super Mario Brothers? I don't understand the script. He said, oh, well, you'll be all right, don't worry. Just keep going, you'll be fine. And I still don't understand the script.
Do you know the game? Have you played the game?
No. I've tried, my kids, when I told my kids, they said, oh, yeah, look, this is it. That's the character you're playing, this little fella who's jumping up and down. I thought... I used to do Shakespeare, you know, and read texts.
Like Wazamo, not as much, give him a mustache, but Bob isn't bad. Bob's a pretty decent casting, and I even like the kind of gruff, like, hey, come on, we got to get in the pipe.
Absolutely.
Damn, Matthew, what was I saying before you said Bob?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, no, so starting off the bad stuff, what Mateo mentioned is the Big Bertha and Toad.
Had no resources in a great big stupor, all because of the evil king.
Toad is a good example of the strange process of translation, because Toad just looks like a human street musician, a little punky.
Yeah,
but not even
with the
that
strangers.
original.
I mean, the hair design is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Who happens to, and then he transforms into a Goomba, and then...
I think the problem would be if you made Toad a little mushroom guy, you have to do that.
But imagine with the 90s practical...
Absolutely, absolutely. We all want to see that, but you'd have to do that for every citizen of the Mushroom Kingdom.
Yes.
Unfortunately, you're right with your logic. Unfortunately, then it would be like, why the hell isn't everything else like that? So as much as I think it would be amazing to see the same craftsmanship that gave us Yoshi to a little cute Toad, I do get that logic. Well, why is everyone else a humanoid?
It's like Duxburg with Donald.
Yeah.
His neighbor is a human.
Yeah?
Yes, in the Karl Barks cartoons, usually his neighbor is a human.
Oh.
So you say, oh, that's...
I don't like that.
Did I lie?
But our classic Big Bertha red fish from the water levels that eats you is a woman in a spiky dress. And that kind of exemplifies the choices here, where it's like, we're going to give you those characters with the slightest... I mean, at least Bertha has the spike. I don't think Big Bertha does have spikes.
No, I don't think so.
But Toad is just like...
round,
Toad is the example to me. Like, why is Toad just a human? And then when you choose to change him, he doesn't even become a mushroom. He becomes a Goomba.
Goombas.
Go Goomba! Join the Goombas!
And then why did you make... Again, is there something inherently kick-ass about a tiny little demon head with a big bulky body, kind of like a Dick Tracy cartoonish thing? It is kick-ass, but then when you look at a picture of a Goomba... Wait, what? And then
maybe they tried to flip the giant head with little legs and feet. You know, small head with a big body.
It's just...
Probably. It definitely, it was easier to give them life as they are. There's a guy with
put the giant trench coat on and throw the animatronic on top of his head.
You know what would be amazing? A focus group, 2 focus groups. 1, here's the Super Mario Brothers movie. 2, this is pitched to you as this is a new wacky side. They don't give you any indication and what the difference in feedback. Because again,
I don't think that's possible at this point.
Is this kind of a kick-ass original wacky movie without the title?
Sure.
Because, for example,
it's an original cut.
Think of the scene where we have all of our big, bulky Goombas with their tiny heads in an elevator, and Mario and Luigi are trying to get out. So he goes behind, starts making them sway until they all hypnotically fall in suit until the point they can escape, because they're literally slow dancing in an elevator. These big, huge...
They even go hand in hand.
Yeah.
The last shot.
And I'm watching that and I'm like, I should be enthralled.
He's turning the Goombas gay?
This should be one of the most...
John Leguizamo.
John Lay.
Gay.
Leguizamo.
Gay.
In the movie, his he has the
pink
rainbow
and the rainbow belt.
Rainbow belt.
Clearly,
prominently throughout.
clearly an ally nod in a time when it wasn't cool to do so.
Yes.
But goddamn man, what was I saying?
Why do you always look at me like I'm the one derailing this conversation?
Because you
You're
said
talking about we're supposed to be enthralled by the Goombas dancing.
all right, yeah. So that's a perfect example of that's a genuinely surreal kind of wacky scene. You get these creatures to sway and slow dance, like you said, literally to the point they're hand in hand to escape. It's elevator music. The look is wacky. It's a fun visual gag. But I'm just like, I want to be like, this is amazing and original, but I don't know if it's just the fact that it's Mario Brothers. Like, what am I watching? Why is he slow dancing little pea-head dino mutants? And then what's the difference between some are compies and some are little, is that Goombas versus...
I don't know. It's not specified.
I think Goomba is just a term for a goon, a henchman. I think just whatever you use the evolver machine on de-evolves to wherever you came from. So maybe some are...
I've always wondered, I never look into that, but I always wonder if Goomba is also an Italian slang.
I was thinking that when it was mentioned during the movie.
Because that would be the only, because it's not the Koopa Troopa or Koopa Paratroopa, that's more German-ish, if you will, in terms of
Koopa!
origin.
Did you let loose the Koopa Paratroopers yet? That's my German accent.
Oh. Very bad.
Thank you very much.
I want to break down all the things like that, but like my brain is just like, there's Dennis Hopper, there's Toad, there's the friggin' Toad.
Dennis Hopper was in this?
Oh. You know what they say about little girls?
And you know what they say about little girls, don't you? Hmm?
Oh, my God.
They say they never forget the first time they're kissed by a lizard.
Prime example of the
fresh,
screenwriting
so
in this.
clean.
You are so fresh and so clean.
You know what they say about little girls? They never forget their first time being kissed by a lizard, which, as you pointed out, must have been written by the same guy that did What Happens to a Toad When It Gets Struck by Lightning.
Listen, I will still defend that line.
Do you know what happens to a toad when it's struck by lightning? The same thing that happens to everything else.
I know what you're saying. Technically, the framework
It's a joke.
works.
It's a good joke.
Yes.
What happens when you get shot in the head?
Which,
the same thing that happens to everything else.
It's,
what happens when you get stabbed in the stomach?
I think that is also in, I want to say kiss, kiss, bang, bang. That it says...
Jesus. Look up idiot in the dictionary. You know what you'll find?
Picture me?
No. The definition of the word idiot, which you fucking are.
Well, it's also just very... I mean, granted, Hopper's supposed to be this creepy lizard villain, but... It's just... You know what they say about little girls? They never forget their first time being kissed by a
why you
lizard.
gotta say little
It's
girls?
like, what? It's like...
Little
what?
and girls?
Yeah, that's the thing. Is those two words together always have a very, like... Unless you're, like, a woman at a kindergarten, like, okay, and we're going to have song time for all the little girls. Like, just say girls.
It was
like,
also the,
you know about little
90s, so it was more...
Well, I think that is, I mean, obviously, for any movie of its time, we
Yeah.
need to factor that in because this was a very different time. This was the first translation from a video game
That's not interesting.
to
I
a
didn't realize
movie.
that.
I remember the first... I bought in 93, I bought here a software that it was a very, 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 very old spell check. Computers didn't come with spell check, and I bought one that was correcting me.
That's interesting.
And I remember that the first script that I attempted to write, I was doing what I've been taught in school. So a young girl, or simply a girl walks down the street, and I meant, of course, a young woman, like at 18, 20 years old. And that was the first time that it was telling me, you should use young woman because girl could be offensive. So in 1993, 92, 93, it was the first time that I heard that, and it was exactly the time of when the evolution of the...
Maybe the script was handwritten.
Probably, yes.
With crayon.
Yes.
I don't know why that makes me think of the joke in one of the G.I. Joes where Marlon Wayans says,
I filled out the application.
They accept those in crowns?
I don't know why that popped in my head, but it did.
But the thing that you know also that Dennis Hopper
was on coke the entire show.
No, but Bob Hoskins he said that he was drunk throughout the whole
okay.
production.
So again, forgive us guys. There's no way to compartmentalize all this information, but so a lot of the backstage, Bob Hoskins, I think I heard
he hated the whole experience and he was drunk throughout the time.
What about the action? A lot of that. Did you get involved?
Well, yeah. Unfortunately, yeah.
Unfortunately?
Yeah, yeah.
What happened?
I got stabbed 4 times. I got electrocuted. I got drowned twice. I got broke a finger.
Good God.
It was, yeah, it was quite sort of, it's very gladiatorial, this game, you know.
Wait, Hoskins was drunk or Hopper was drunk?
Both?
No, Hoskins.
Oh.
They're trading off in the dressing room like friggin' Chase and Murray in Caddyshack.
Yeah. He broke 2 fingers because the...
I was going to drive the Super Mario Brothers van, right? And I wanted to look cocky and like a stunt man, so I drove it myself. And so Bob is standing on the side of with his hand on the door, the sliding door. And so I gunned it, right? And then they said stop at that mark, and I stopped as hard as I could. And the door came flying out, smashed his poor little Bob Hoskins fingers, and he went into some Cockney Tourette's thing. Oh, bloody geezer, me coals and coke. Oh, bloody geezer, what was the bloody cunt? And he went on, and for the rest of the movie, you'll see that his hand, it was the right hand, is kind of stiff because it was in a cast, and they painted it pink, so it looked like fingers. But he's holding the weapon like they attached it with tape or something.
Imagine you're already pissed at you having to do this stupid ass movie. Then you find out that the script is just terrible. Then the husband and wife team directing it are just incompetent idiots who can't agree on something. And on top of it, when you finally see you're trying to praise yourself,
hey,
man.
This has been the greatest day of my life on this.
I go home. I can go home, right?
How could that possibly happen?
And Dennis Hopper said that he was supposed to be there for 5 weeks, and it turned to be 17.
Did I lie?
Oh God! Imagine week 11.
Did you read when you were reading the blurb were the husband and wife new to directing? It sounded like they were a little green, or were they just bickering a lot?
They were mostly video music directors.
Okay.
They did
the first feature.
Yes, I think so. They did some episode of Max Headroom.
This is Max Headroom.
I did remember them talking
back
about that.
then, but yes.
Never seen Max Headroom.
I was
About its time.
Yes, and I remember again another lie to us because it's entirely computer generated. Instead, it was Matt Frewer with a mask and just like edited.
I was walking around the city the other day, and it was so quiet you could have heard a window being smashed. It's strange, really. I suppose a lot of people are like windows. So many are
see-through.
So many get smashed, and so many wander around with a glazed look over them.
Filmed with a different technique and edited in a very weird way, but. Yeah, the movie was not really. I mean, it was so bad that kept Nintendo far away for 30 years from Hollywood.
Had enough? Not even close.
Did I
That's
assume
crazy.
it tanked?
Yes.
Like horribly?
Money-wise, or
mostly critics? No, I don't know of anybody who liked it.
Our next movie is a film version of a popular video game. It's called Super Mario Brothers, and it doesn't work at all. This movie isn't either high or low tech enough. It's not as dazzling or as involving as the cutting-edge video games that would like to mirror, and it doesn't have the traditional movie elements like compelling characters or a fresh story. I also can't figure out exactly what age group this movie was made for. I guess I didn't like it.
Yeah, this movie wasn't imagined correctly at the outset. They didn't start out with a vision of what it was going to be even before they did everything else. And so you look at the movie and you see millions of dollars on the screen of special effects and all of those customized cars and that other world that they've created and everything else. And it doesn't add up to anything. It's just a lot of people running around, all talking at once in a plot that nobody cares anything about, and just every once in a while, a little moment that kind of sparkles.
None of the actors liked it, even
check the gross.
John Leguizamo,
please.
John Leguizamo is on record for saying it was a miserable experience also.
Leguizamo seems like a nice guy.
Yeah, yeah, and incredibly talented. But everybody, I mean, the cast.
Hey, they reunite for Land of the Dead.
Him and Hopper.
I won't be needing this man anymore.
Now they can't. Because Hopper
really
has...
Land of the Dead.
Yes.
38.9 million worldwide.
What? Wait, it's the 90s, so it's a little inflated, but what's the budget?
The budget of 42 to 48 million.
Okay.
You think the name would attract more of a poll at that point?
Then it's...
Sorry, could you go the dollar times inflation calculator? Just
oh, my God, man. It's probably like $2 more.
Still, if you made less than a budget.
Yeah, I'm just curious with because that just seems insane. Again, I want to do the inflation because 38 for a Mario Brothers movie. Again,
you want to do the inflation?
The name.
Or you want me to do it and hear it?
The name. How does the name not bring in more?
Yeah, exactly. Right?
Well, if everybody says it's disappointing, then yes.
84.
The only thing miraculous I know is that we're still eating while we're going broke.
We ain't going broke, Mario. We're already there.
It's a gosh darn happy time that ends with the happiest song ever. Uplifting
and you have Walk the Dinosaur on your soundtrack and plays after that.
Not even that. You have one of the most catchiest and iconic, and yes, iconic 35, 40 years later, different times, but you have such an awesome theme song that everyone knows. Why not?
Step inside, take a deep breath.
Not only that, you have a whole library of the whole library.
You don't have to even make it 8-bit. Make it. You grab an orchestra, grab a.
Dude, can you imagine if they did
kind of
90s rap remixes of the Mario thing for this?
Exactly.
My God.
Yes.
Where's my pizza?
I also would like to say, Mateo, did you ever see the new Mario?
Yes.
Me and Matthew were wildly... Okay, everything they got wrong about literal character translation, the colors they got right, but I felt the writing was just...
I think my biggest...
Just paint by numbers. Let's make the most generic...
My biggest theory is that they kept it...
Languages.
Milquetoast to be able to bring it overseas. They kept it the most basic jokes possible to translate overseas.
Is an extremely safe movie. Is the most basic story.
No balls.
Meow.
Yes.
Not that you necessarily need it, but it's too much. It's too just...
Yeah.
There's
because I understand...
conflict.
I understand it cannot be something like Shrek, which drowns into pop culture reference. But it could have been a little more... Let me use this term, which is not edgy, like Despicable Me, maybe.
No, I was really surprised. I thought they would go with...
I think that they didn't want to piss off Nintendo after 30 years. They say, let's just say go with the most...
No, it was really limp dick. It was really...
Like you see sparks of, I think, what the original script might have been with the little glowing blue guy in the cage.
That's got a little bit of the edge.
Existential
all
dread.
There is sadness. You will die. That's what we needed more of.
There's got to be a way out of here.
There's no escape. The only hope is the sweet relief of death.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me.
And I think that might have been actually just kind of like, oh, that kind of got just kept throughout because it's funny and that is kind of translatable, saying horrible things but with a cute little character.
Yeah.
But it just flat lying throughout.
They just
visually beautiful and pretty fun and it's action sequences. You got all the characters you want to see for the most part.
No, the colors are everything you want. It's there. Let me watch it on mute, but it's just...
It's also the fact that the whole movie is supposed to be a journey to get to Koopa, and you pretty much just brush through your sets and all your different levels.
And you separate the brothers.
Separate the brothers.
And
that's the
and I don't need Mario to have a father who is disappointed in his life journey. What are you doing?
If you want, I could show you.
I'd love you to show me. Show me.
But at least Dennis Hopper likes mud. because it's dirty and clean
at the same time.
That's the sand line.
Do you know what I love about mud? It's clean and it's dirty at the same time.
I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere. Not like here.
So, you know, Kong vs. Godzilla plagiarized Super Mario Brothers. George Lucas plagiarized Super Mario Brothers. If you want the Ninja Turtles, the Michael Bay one in the elevator scene, but they're
MC Mikey. MC
And then there are things that are, well, that make you question for whom this movie is made, like the dance that Bob Hoskins has with Berta, and then just like shoving his face in the cleavage.
Agreed, but at least on the little commentary I watched, I caught the director being like, I wanted to make something that was... And it's weird because he says for the whole family, but I think he means like he literally says like the parents would have to explain some of the stuff that happened. So
I'm sure.
At least
you need to be there to watch your child.
And the kids, they say, "Daddy, why did you take me to see this piece of crap?"
There was an incident that happened, among many. I mean, a lot of stuff happened doing Super Mario Brothers. That whole disco scene, they hired a whole bunch of strippers from Wilmington to be in the scene, and they were too scantily clad. Because this was a, it was a children's video game, and that was conflicting for everybody. It was not an easy shoot because the ladies wanted to reveal everything and they couldn't. And I mean, we didn't mind, but it wasn't the appropriate PG rating that we were looking for.
It doesn't seem very kid friendly, right?
No,
it doesn't.
That's why they took the music. That's why they had the music constantly throughout to keep the tone light, or to make it seem like it was light.
And also, and then there is those things that, to me, granted, you say, hey, you're trying to find stuff, but still. So the World Trade Center changes visibly in front of everybody. Nobody bats an eye.
Oh,
Koopa,
and Endgame ripped off, Infinity War ripped off this with the disintegration.
Steady, Quill.
There you go.
This is an iconic masterpiece that so many have suckled from the teat of.
King Koopa and Mario materialize. Nobody bats an eye.
Mario?
Like 20 Goombas behind them as well.
And 20 Koopa. King Koopa turns a man into a monkey.
What is this?
They're all laughing because the monkey is cute.
I mean,
granted,
how often do you see a funny monkey in a suit?
True. With big shoes that jumps with the shoes. Yeah, that's funny.
Wearing tights.
Still.
Now give me a sequel where it's Monkey Mob Boss. Where the mob has
Donkey Kong. That's the original of Donkey Kong.
With the fact that their mob is now run by a monkey. I want to see that movie.
That was Diddy Kong, and it's
that would have been great.
Yeah. It's all over the place. There are. Bob Hoskins said it. It says the arrogance of the two husband and wife directors was mistaken for talent.
Yeah. That happens a lot.
I'm sure that in a smaller word like a music video, that kind of vision would have worked beautifully.
It is very music video, as you say.
Yes,
Yeah, it's very heavy on visuals.
Yes, exactly. You have this strange... Russell Mulcahy, the director of Highlander and Razorback, which we will do, by the way. Maybe both. It was a great video director. He did Wild Boys, Duran Duran, which is fantastic. Visually, it's incredible. He was able to translate his vision from the confined time. Granted, the original Wild Boys is about 15 minutes, but the vast majority of videos were around 4. But he had this amazing eye for vistas and framing shots that are breathtaking. Razorback is fantastic. Highlander, I remember seeing it into the moving theater, that there were a couple of shots that the whole audience went, oh, because they really never seen that. There was the first time after a fight in a garage, the camera dollies up, it passes in front of a concrete bar. And then it emerged, and you're in Scotland in the same fluid shot, and you've never seen that before.
And Scotland doesn't even have garages.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. They were forbidden in 1775. They say, if in the future we'll have cars, no garages.
You will not be able to put them anywhere.
Exactly. You'll keep it on a finger.
Yes. Can we talk about when they get dressed up in suits to go to Big Bertha's club? And they're wearing monochromatic suits. And you choose to give Mario a yellow suit and Luigi a red suit.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Dude,
what is...
Mario's wearing a jacket the entire time. Luigi's wearing a hoodie. Could you not have just given him a green hoodie and give Mario a red jacket?
I said it's burgundy one, and Mario has a nondescriptive...
Like a brown with a red with the red collar.
I have
like
to...
you could have just given a little bit. Well,
here's the thing. I have to imagine with everything we've talking about that there was a direct intent of like, we can't do what 2023 Mario did, these literal translations, these cute, colorful characters. I'm almost thinking there was a direct attempt to like, how do we deviate? How do we just do like a, let's mutate these, if you will, because
but
everything
that's the
is just
easiest thing
so.
You could do. You could.
But I'm saying maybe my thought is maybe they were like,
subvert
hey,
it?
we're gonna get to the jumpsuits at the end. It would be too obvious to do that because you're right. It seems like such a missed opportunity. That
Or the whole idea is that they're plumbers and you're wearing overalls, so they're wearing work clothes. Just put them in overalls from the beginning.
Yeah.
And they just stay in their. They just stay in those costumes.
Yeah.
What now?
Like it's not like it's a superhero suit.
No,
Even
exactly.
at the end, they don't even. That's
and it's plausible that two plumbers, since those overall have all the thing for keeping the tools.
Work attire. Classic work attire.
And instead you have Luigi being a sexy model in the desert.
Yeah, shirt off, those white pants and the rainbow belt. Like, dude, whoa. What are you trying to say, man?
It's so weird. Everything.
A lot of young male
Hoskins is
Mario
staying far
fans
ahead of
were
that.
awakened that session.
But like the jumpsuits they get at the end, what are they from? Where are they from?
The Koopa.
They found them in a.
Ha! Ingeniously. Come on.
While they were going into the pipes, they open a sort of a column slash.
But like, it doesn't even matter because it's not like they have
No,
superpowers.
no.
The boots from
The
Big
boots.
Bertha's spot are used at the end, but that doesn't matter.
And then, like you said, he takes the mushroom finally.
Trust the fungus.
And uses it as a shield as opposed to eat
then
it and get
throws
power.
it at the dude's face.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. It's almost like they were like, we need to alter every single thing because it's a movie, so it's something new. We have to change everything because there's just no...
And the thing that also is frustrating is that finally, so for whatever reason, Daisy's dad has become a fungus.
He devolved.
He devolved into the whole town.
Yeah.
I know this is gonna sound a little strange, but I want you to meet my father.
And when finally he re-evolves, also mysteriously because they don't use the machine to re-evolve.
That's what I was wondering too, because once the crystal was removed, everything went back to. Or once Koopa died.
He gets liquefied.
Yeah, how would that set everything back?
Aha!
How is this
but then
plot
you have Lance Henriksen, who is a great character actor.
Doesn't have a line.
Not only, yeah, he says I'm back or something like that, but you keep it far away. Give him a close-up at least, because if you want to use a cameo, at least make it worth it, and not just like
5 seconds too.
Yeah,
I'm back. Love those plumbers.
So
he's always covered in some sort of white goo. Can't get away from it.
Yeah.
I mean, again, there's a fleshy, raw, natural, drippy look to the fungus and mushrooms that, again, I'm like, every time we talk these things out, I'm like, that would be cool if it wasn't such a horrible, hacked-off translation of what you're coming from.
I think if you took that concept and you just leaned in a little bit more to the cartooniness, not even the, and a little bit more of the kid nature of it, just in the fact of I want to see bright, colorful characters jumping around, fighting bad guys, and see some crazy monsters. You could lean into the idea of this overgrown city covered in spores. It's a really cool idea. It could be a creepy visual, and it could be like, hey, this is this dude who de-evolved into mushrooms. He's spreading throughout the entire kingdom, and he's speaking to us through all these different connective tissues, trying to help us along with the mission.
Yeah. Or at least at a certain point they could say they could eat one of them and just like, because instead of having the boots.
They grow.
Yeah, exactly.
Or they get big, yeah. Or small to running up underneath a.
This is my theory.
Escape.
It's my theory.
A prison cell.
Look at
God.
We're going down.
What is this?
Look at the suits in 2000's X-Men versus the comic suits.
Okay.
I feel like they were the same philosophy where they're like, dude, we have to do like a slick, mostly black jumpsuit. We can't have Wolverine yellow spandex. I kind of feel like the overriding philosophy was, we can't do these things how they look. It's the real world. So why don't you guys tell me how to mutate every single thing into like a cool real world cyberpunk? It has to be because
of course.
Yeah.
But there's a better way.
But it's so overriding
even
is the thing. Like it affects everything, dude.
I think that they even got the Saturn Award nomination for costumes in this movie. So imagine that.
Who did what?
The costume designer.
Why?
Probably
it's not like
there weren't that many.
It's not like they're not cool. I mean, again, I think the Goombas is the big shoulders with the tiny head is almost Beetlejuicy.
If, like, for instance, if somebody who's never, if the Bob Hoskins of the situation had seen the movie without knowing anything,
you might be like, oh, pretty cool early 90s sci-fi.
Fine, you don't.
Well, here's the more interesting thing is that I don't know if the
More
movie
interesting than what?
would enthrall me. But don't you think that if it was exactly the same, but not the Super Mario Brothers movie, it's kind of an interestingly original movie.
Yeah.
I don't know that I would necessarily be like, wow, but I would be like, wow, what a kind of cool, like I said, a 90s relic.
It would probably have gotten a more cult status, like The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai.
Never seen that.
Is this funny? This my next question is, people in my bracket, Nintendo fans and Mario fans, is this beloved, or is this kind of one of those, like, everyone's like,
I don't know.
Maybe Beloved is a bad movie nowadays.
Yes, but I remember back then I did not meet anybody.
Everyone was like, eh.
Yeah, and we were, at least in Italy, we were swept by Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Did we see this in theaters as kids? Did we? I mean, I was.
Yeah, I have strong memories
we were
of
both
it.
old enough to. I mean, I know we saw it.
You would have been 6.
Yeah. So I know we definitely were aware of the game. We had the pretty sure we had Nintendo at that point.
Well, Nintendo was...
Nintendo. 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 Nintendo.
It kind of got here and peaked right away. Like late 80s, it was already massive, right? So this was kind of a no-brainer. It's just...
I mean, if you're making a movie about a video game, it means that the video game has already gotten that popularity.
Should probably start to wrap.
A gift?
I can't hate it.
Okay.
It's just, I don't know.
It's the wrong title.
Yeah, that's what Dad
That
always
might-
said
that
about
might
Godzilla '98. He was like, just don't call it Godzilla. It's good enough.
Yeah, that might fix everything.
Call him Mutos.
It's nice, nice. My love for Godzilla 14 has only grown since doing that episode.
Did I lie?
Let's express our feelings by throwing pieces of paper. I'm a little confused.
Yeah, same.
A little
I wasn't-
confused.
I didn't know
Actually,
we
I
would-
say that sometimes, but I really have no clue
I
how to
wasn't
split
sure
this
that
vote.
we would get to this point, so I don't know.
Right?
So I'll start.
Thought we might die.
I go with 3.5.
Okay.
Because it's disappointing, but at the same time, you cannot ignore the talent at least in front of the camera, which is
And the
undeniable.
design.
Yes,
For
and
what it is.
Yes, and it's also, to me, it falls into that group of movies that it needs to be seen to be believed, because you say, one thing is that, I made this movie, I completely missed the mark but the story is the one that is known from the video game or the book or the cartoon, but they completely went. This one is just like, if you know the original material, the source material, you watch this one and say, what did they hell, what they were thinking. So I go with that.
Okay, while I was listening to Mateo, I came up with my vote. I'm going to do the classic 1, 2.5, right down the middle either way, because it has to be. It's like the Libra scales are balanced between this is an ungodly adaptation and this is actually kind of interesting. So 2.5, the only vote could be right down the middle. It's the only way it could have gone.
I'm going to go right in the middle of you two guys with 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
I think these are all fair votes.
Yeah. I will say that it was early on in Mario's existence. Obviously, they had blown up huge at the point.
What year did it debut? Mid-80s?
93.
No, Mario was mid-80s probably?
Yeah, something like that. But if you do look at the Mario video games, at least back in the day in the lore and the canon, there wasn't that much strict story. So you could have kind of could take this story and kind of spread it however you want. Aside from that, yes, you should have characters, you should have certain aesthetics that we would be knowing to see from the game, but in terms of story, you can kind of do your own thing, and they swung with a different idea, at least.
At least that.
MaJaMa.
Swung with a different idea, they did. Guys, are you a fan of this movie? Have you seen it? Do you hate it? Do you love it? Is anyone still there listening? I'm really glad we actually got into this one because I hear a lot of talk about it and I did not remember it. And like Mateo says, I think love it or hate it, it is one of those check it off your list and make sure you see it. A relic of early 90s culture, kind of a Mario meets Demolition Man, those type of early 90s. That's what it feels like.
Judge Dredd, yes.
Very much an early 90s action. But yeah, check it out and see what you think, guys. And the other Mario movie sucks too. The other Mario movie sucks too.
Please, we are depressed enough.
Writing's
I
terrible.
think we are in the minority in that opinion, though.
I think a lot of people got
Yes.
swept up in the fun. And I went in with a full heart ready to, but the writing was just too
same
terrible.
here.
Just too terrible. Or not even terrible, it's just blah. Just the most blasé, no,
And of course, people are going to be like, it's the Mario movie. What did you expect from it? I'm like, no, you can do a very intelligent, funny, if nothing else, story with those characters.
Exhibit A, the immortal, forever referred to Lego movie.
Tonight on Where Are My Pants?
Honey, where are my pants?
What was I just thinking? I don't care.
Yeah.
Oh, what's that going to be? Just a bunch of brick jokes? Actually, it is the most amazing thing you've ever
And
seen.
Exhibit B, the Emoji Movie.
Devil, poop, thumbs up, they just show up and they're good to go. But for the faces, the pressure is on. Crier always has to cry, even if he's just won the lottery.
Hooray! I'm a billionaire!
The laugher is always laughing, even if he's just broken his arm.
I can see the bone!
Which is closer to Super
Should do that
Mario.
on the show.
Yes.
So guys, once again, thank you from our couch to yours for sticking around with us, and we will be back new week. We'll be back next week
You're the host.
with an all new jams. As the jams.
We need a better send-off line. That's Jam is not.
That's Jam. Singular.
That's
Jam.
Yes, let's
Make
bring
a
some.
sandwich.
Let's bring some marmalade, and that's Jam.
Damn it! Can we go back and insert that into every episode?
Yes.
Leading up to this.
Yes. We'll do it with AI.
Okay.
That's a jam.
And NS.
No, that's marmalade. It's pretty funny.
AI is artificial intelligence, NS is natural stupidity.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. Do you have marmalade in the fridge? No.
The hell's the difference?
I do,
It's like
but-
an alligator and a crocodile. What
No,
the hell's the difference?
Marmalade technically is only with the citruses, oranges, lemon, and so jam is all the
tail?
rest.
The cameras are still running. Get the
Bye.
I'm saying get the marmalade for the site guy.
We'll just put it.
We don't have time.
Damn it!
It's gonna ring.
We're not still leaving this in the show, though, right?
No,
This won't be in.
Not at all.
They won't.
Yeah, no. Because see, it's ringing, so we can.
This part won't be seen.
No.
Okay, that's what I figured. I figured that.
MaJaMa.
What?